insight and personal conviction that constantly bubble just below the surface of a world built by human hands. We honor complexity at the same time we keep things understandable. Do join me. We'll have a lot of fun together.
Weekdays at 5:45 on KSJE. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, which is officially baby-friendly. This evidence-based initiative is designed to support mother-baby bonding and optimal infant feeding practices by upholding the 10 steps to successful breastfeeding. San Juan Regional Medical Center, officially baby-friendly, and serving the Four Corners since 1910. Find out more online at sanjuanregional.com. Ten minutes past 8 o'clock. It's Friday morning, October 25th. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Nicklin. Thank you for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM over the air in San Juan County, 103.3 FM now over the air in Durango, Colorado, and everywhere at KSJE.com. Special good morning also to our viewers who are joining the visual radio program live by tuning in to the KSJE YouTube channel or to our Facebook page. Welcome to you, everybody. We're glad that you are with us this morning as well. Coming up on the program this hour, in the next few moments, my guest talking about Project Alpine 2. It is a grant program designed to help people who want to get their teaching certifications in New Mexico and teach in a school district in San Juan County. We'll give you all the details about that and what it means and how it can pay for much of the expenses of going back to school to get that certification. Details about that coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE. And then later on this hour, as we do on Fridays, we'll welcome Wally D. from Wally D Sports to our microphones. He will get us set up for the weekend prep sports schedule. We'll check the polls this week and see how the local teams are doing. That's coming up this morning in about 40 minutes or so right here on KSJE. Next hour, Mick Hess will be here roving with the arts. Mick is playing some great music from Broadway, performed by the great baritone Thomas Hampson. You'll hear some of his music coming up at 9:06 on KSJE today. And then, of course, it's more classical music until noon. That's when we turn things over to the Farmington Police Department, the Cop Shop with FPD. It's a best-of episode today at noon, talking about online police report filing. That you'll hear about today at 12:06 on KSJE. At 12:30, it's our storytelling program, Cuentos, Hana, and Tales, produced in cooperation with our partners from the Farmington Public Library. A great storytelling program coming up at 12:30 on KSJE today. Connect with us, of course, on social media. You can like our Facebook page. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, of course, and check out KSJE on Instagram as well. If you're looking for something to do over the next several days, you can check out the KSJE Regional Events Calendar. That's on our website, too, at KSJE.com. There's a lot of events coming up over the next couple of days, and we want to direct your attention to just a couple of them. One is the Chautauqua performance tonight here at the San Juan College Little Theater, Thinking Like a Watershed. That is coming up today, this evening at the San Juan College Little Theater. Also, there is the Fiona Welcome Concert, welcoming Fiona, which is the new grand piano at the San Juan College Henderson Performance Hall. That event is also happening this weekend here at San Juan College. That's happening tonight as well. The San Juan College Halloween Carnival, a huge event, I know, for kids in the community, taking place tomorrow over at the Health and Human Performance Center. I will be there helping to MC the gigantic costume contest that starts a little after noon, but the Halloween Carnival is happening tomorrow here at San Juan College, and then tomorrow night at the Henderson Performance Hall once again, the fundraiser for the San Juan County Partnership. We talked about that on yesterday's program. San Juan County's Got Talent on stage tomorrow night here at the Henderson Fine Arts Center. I encourage you to check that out and get your tickets and join us tomorrow evening. It says to be a great evening of lots of great local talent, so join us for that. The Beautiful Boutique going on next week here also at the Suns Room at San Juan College. Just some of the many events you'll see, in addition to other events like the Feet of Clay Artist Co-op Featured Art Show happening over in Aztec, and a lot of other other events too, like the Farmington Action Team meeting and the other things you see there on our regional events calendar, ksje.com. We always say that visual radio can take you places, and it can, because if you're watching us live on Facebook or YouTube, we can take you to North Carolina. That is Surf City and the Surf City Fishing Pier, which is a lot of activity going on for somewhat early in the morning this morning, although it is 10 o'clock in North Carolina. But the fishermen and fisherwomen are out in full force at the fishing pier in North Carolina. That is the scene this morning, where it's currently 69 degrees, and it's a mostly sunny day in North Carolina, on their way to a high of 77 and an overnight low of 61. Maybe some good fishing weather. We'll have to wait and see if anyone's catching anything off the fishing pier in North Carolina. Back here at home, here's our forecast. Mostly sunny skies on this Friday. 58 for a high in Farmington. Clear and 25 tonight. 67, a bit warmer tomorrow with lots of sunshine. The winds kick back up on Sunday with a high of 67. But take a look Sunday night and on into Monday. A chance of snow showers Sunday night in the forecast with a low of 38 degrees. And a more chance for snow and rain mixed on Monday with a high of only 44 and a low of 23. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Joining me this morning in our visual radio studio to talk a bit about the Alpine 2 grant for teacher education. Kari Deswood is here. She is part of the alternative licensure program here at San Juan College. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming in. Patrick Swope is back with us, too, to talk about the Alpine 2 project. He's a mentor with the program. Good morning. Welcome back.
Good morning, Scott.
Thank you both for coming in. And so, Kari, your job is kind of with San Juan College to coordinate the college's efforts with this new grant. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. So I serve as the alternative licensure coordinator, and so there is an interview process to vet these candidates who come into the program, and Alpine 2 is a wonderful funding opportunity from New Mexico Public Education Department.
Right, and so we should mention that this is all part of an idea to get more teachers trained in teaching, into the profession, into the classroom, and this grant really helps make that pretty affordable, very affordable, I would say, and kind of streamlines the process. Is that a good way to describe it, Patrick?
Right. It covers the cost of tuition, and so that entices people to come in. And because they're alternative licensure, that means they have a degree from some other field, but they may be interested in teaching. And so those are the candidates, those are the kind of people we're looking for, highly qualified people from other fields who think, maybe I want to become a teacher. I've always thought about becoming a teacher. This is a way that they can get into the program and then become a teacher for the first time.
Right, and do it fairly quickly, right? Isn't that the idea too?
That's right. It's about probably a 2.5 year, or maybe less, that they can enter the program and then become a teacher.
Yeah, so once candidates come into the alternative licensure program, I mean, the average time to get through the program could be about a year, so maybe 3 to 4 semesters.
Okay.
It really, and that's the beauty of our program sequence, is that, I mean, the candidates really can tailor it to their needs. We do primarily work with teachers who are actively out teaching, and so there might be some semesters that they're extremely busy and can't take as many credit hours, and then other semesters where maybe they can.
Right. That's how it works. And so this alternative licensure program that I know, Kari Deswood, you work with a lot, is kind of designed, and as Patrick said, for folks who already have maybe some kind of a bachelor's degree, a 4-year degree, that maybe in a different profession but want to get into teaching, and this is a faster way to do that.
Yes, absolutely. So it is the only post-baccalaureate program here at San Juan College, and so one of the requirements is candidates do have to have a bachelor's degree in their field of expertise.
Right. But this kind of adds on, this Alpine 2 then adds on to that program to help cover some of those costs.
Absolutely. So it's a wonderful funding opportunity for our teachers. As Patrick said, I mean, it takes care of tuition, but I think and then some. And so the other part of it too that is really nice is that the Alpine grant helps with professional development opportunities, and there is a strong mentorship component to it, which I'll let Patrick talk about because he is our lead mentor for that Alpine grant.
Right. And so, Patrick, talk to me a little bit about that. Is that some
Sure.
on-the-job training or helping these new teachers who are in the classroom find themselves?
When you begin teaching, teachers discover very quickly how strenuous it is, how taxing it is, the time. Teaching is hard work. Teaching is hard work, and I can bring my experience. I taught for over 25 and a half years over an Aztec school district, and I mentored teachers, and I've had student teachers before, and so I know what it's like to help somebody along who is just trying this out for the first time. And I go out to the schools and I visit with these candidates who have qualified through the Alpine Project or Alpine Project 2, and I help them along. I help them to survive it, but then we also want to help them to thrive.
Sure.
Not just survive.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would say that, I know teaching is challenging, and it's certainly, as you mentioned, hard work, but for folks who are coming from another field, it's probably just different work.
It is
Wouldn't
different
you
work.
say? It's maybe not quite as... It could be as challenging as what they were doing before, but certainly in a different way.
When you get a degree from some other field, you may be an expert in content, okay? But the difference is when you become a teacher, you now have to present that content, and that's a whole new methodology.
Sure.
And so that's where we can help them to be able to present the content so that their students can best learn the content.
Right.
Yeah.
And there are certainly ways to be effective in the classroom.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe that are different from being in a cubicle.
Yeah. Right. Oh, completely. Absolutely. Yeah. There's never a dull moment. You're busy all the time as a teacher. You don't have time to just kind of space out and look out the window.
No.
Those students are going to engage you. They're going to challenge you, and in turn, you're going to learn a lot. So,
right.
Yeah. And it'll be fun too.
Right. And I know every teacher that I talk to is always, they're in it because it's so rewarding, because it's a passion, because they really have that drive to want to see those little light bulbs go off over those kids' heads and know that they get the concept.
Yeah, that is one of the greatest joys of teaching, is to see you're taking somebody who doesn't know anything, and you're taking them to a spot of where they do now know something, and that's a great thing to watch. It is a really super. That's what's magical about teaching.
Sure. You, Kari Deswood, again sharing your passion for education with some of these candidates that are coming in for your alternative licensure program and this Alpine program too. It's got to be great to kind of see and share that with these other folks coming from other industries.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have about 14 years of teaching experience. I actually used to teach at Farmington High School and have been teaching at San Juan College. And so, we try to share our experiences with these candidates and, provide mentorship in that way. So, and then we also have a nice, robust staff in the alternative licensure, in addition to our project manager, Abena McNeely.
Right. Well, let's talk about the grant and these opportunities that it presents itself. So these are opportunities to teach with the Alpine 2 now in more local school districts than the first grant that we talked about a few months ago, if I remember correctly.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
Yeah.
So Project Alpine 2, it was written up mostly by Alexis Domey, and what she has done is she has been able to bring in more schools in Project Alpine 2. So we went from just Farmington and CCSD to now Bloomfield, Aztec, and even more.
And some of the BIA schools, BIE schools, right?
That's right. And we've just learned that if any candidates are not in any of those schools too, we have a way, we have to circumvent and figure out a way to do it, but we can get just about anybody now.
Okay.
This is what I heard yesterday. Yeah. So
explain that to me then. If someone's coming and says, I want to teach here.
If somehow they aren't in, there are many schools besides Aztec, Bloomfield, Central, Farmington, then the BIE. So and we only had certain schools within each district, like
Right, that
Aztec,
were
there was only
qualified.
Park Avenue, there was only Aztec High School.
I see.
But now it's opened up to everybody.
I see.
And-
Understood.
But with, the caveat that we have to, do some extra paperwork to get them into the program, if that's one of the
Sure.
one of the reasons they're not in it. Yeah.
And the idea is to find these teachers to work in these schools that have a Native American student population or minority student population. Isn't that part of this grant as well?
Yes. Mhm.
And that's an important thing,
Yes.
too.
Oh my God. Yeah. Absolutely. That's what's so special about this area.
And so with this grant, then let's talk dollars and cents a little bit about what the grant helps to pay for these individuals. And so if I wanted to sign up, if this radio thing isn't working out for me, and I wanted to find another career with my bachelor's degree in
Right.
broadcasting, I could
Right.
come and apply for alternative licensure with this Alpine 2, and then what happens from there? And please be nice to me.
Well, Scott, I think we'd love to have you as a teacher. So anytime, you know where my office is located.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah, so there definitely is a process. I think that as far as the funding part of it, Patrick had mentioned that tuition is primarily covered in addition to books and fees as well.
Right.
And I don't know if we have an extension of that. Is there a component that also covers maybe mileage?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Okay.
Okay.
But at least the major
But
expenses
we
are
know
covered.
for sure
Right.
tuition is covered,
Mhm.
and other like books and expenses. Yeah, for anything that has to do with your classes that you're
Right.
taking. Right.
Okay.
So, and that is a great deal.
Sure, and that's the idea. And then for the next
That's right.
2 years, 2.5 years, or however long it takes
It's a-
me to get through the classes,
Right.
then
Yeah.
my tuition and my books and fees are at least paid for
That's
through
right.
this grant.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's how it works, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think the best thing to do is if you are a teacher or someone maybe who wants to go into the teaching field, definitely come and talk to us, visit our office. You can also talk with Patrick, any one of our team members you can speak to. But really, that would probably be the first step, right, is to ask questions, give us a call, and see maybe if you would qualify. And then we'll go from there. And really, I mean, I think one of the best things, like Patrick said yesterday, we got news that this scholarship opportunity has been extended to other area schools. And so if you think that you might qualify, just pick up the phone or stop by our office.
There you go. And we've got some contact information on the screen right now for folks. Carrie, they can call you at 566-3442.
Yes. Mhm.
And that's the best way to do that. And these other individuals that are on here, same thing. They would all be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Abena, as you mentioned, McNeely, and she's got an email address on the screen for folks who are watching us, which is mcneelya@sanjuancollege.edu. Jessica Finch, 566-3044.
Right.
And then Carrie's number there again. And Patrick, do you have a number, or do you have a way to get people get a hold of you, or should
I
they
have
go through these other folks?
My email, yeah.
Okay.
So swope@sanjuancollege.edu. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And that would be another way where folks can contact you and
Yeah.
ask questions.
Right. We wanted to not have too many people to contact, so it'd be easier for them. But they're welcome to contact me, of course.
Right.
Any one of us, we can help you with the application
Sure.
process.
And there's a website as well, which we're showing too, which is
It is, right.
sanjuancollege.edu/Project
Yep.
Alpine 2.
Yep. If you
Yep.
just go to the San Juan College website, do a search for Project Alpine, it'll come up. So,
Okay.
Yep.
Very, very good. And so talk to me a little bit about the first Project Alpine and how that has been going, because that's what we talked about the last time, Patrick. and-
We started small,
Right.
and I had 4 candidates, and at the end of the year last year, we just got it rolling,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I was able to go out to their schools and visit with them and begin to mentor them. And then we're continuing to mentor those Project Alpine, the first
One.
project. Yeah, that's
Right.
right, one. And then I've got new candidates who have qualified through Project Alpine 2, which I am now going out to those schools and visiting with them.
Very good.
And so tomorrow I go to Newcomb to
Okay.
visit a teacher who's a candidate from last year.
Nice.
And so, and we're continually adding. We're slowly, we are capping it at about 24. And I would love to get to that number. That would
Well-
be fantastic.
Well, right.
That would be
But
fantastic.
there's only one of you, so you've got to
There's
cap it at some
well, there's me, but there's also Abna.
You've got some
and so
more.
if we get more people in, then she can mentor also.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
So
But those original 4 are doing well, and they are excited, and they're enjoying this new experience, this new career that they
Yes.
have they've now completed or are in the classroom now?
Yes, yep. They're still continuing. So.
Right.
They're still here.
They're still here. That's right. No,
good news.
I believe that most of them are doing really well. Yeah, and it's nice that I can be there to support them.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that in the alternative licensure program, again, Kari Deswood, that you work with here at
Yeah.
San Juan College, it's the same kind of thing, right? And
Yeah.
if there's someone that wanted to work in a different school district and maybe not qualify for Project Alpine, they still could certainly sign up for alternative licensure.
Absolutely, yeah. And we
Right.
take candidates all throughout the year. Yeah, and it just really takes a matter of just reaching out, and we'll help through that process, which I think can sometimes be a challenging process if you don't really know the answers, or if you don't know who to talk to, and we definitely help guide you through that process. And I just also want to add that I feel like with this particular grant and really our program, there is a strong mentorship component to it that I think sets it apart, and as opposed to just saying, well, here's your money, now go
good
do
luck.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Right,
And so
right.
I know Patrick travels around to mentor, and we also offer resources within our office, and really just do whatever we can to help these teachers be as successful as possible with our students.
Well, I think it's important, too, because as we mentioned, you've got folks that maybe have spent the last 10 years, 20 years, or longer in a different career, and they're making a big leap of faith, kind of, and
Yes,
sure.
they've always thought about teaching, and here they are, and they're going to school and gaining the background, but they're still wondering, what you learn in the classroom is maybe in a classroom when you're a student is certainly different than when you're in a classroom as a teacher and running the show, kind of a thing. And so it's
Yeah.
important that these mentoring and mentors are available to help these individuals, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And you've got a friend in me.
And yeah.
Sounds like a song.
I know, but
Right.
I mean, it is tough. It is overwhelming. So many demands are placed on these teachers, and so you need to manage your time and prioritize what you need to be focusing on. And so that's what I can help them do. I can
Sure.
help them prioritize and see, how to navigate all of it, because it's tremendous, but it's so worthwhile, so rewarding.
Right.
It's worth it. is what
Right.
I'd say.
And I would assume that's what you're hearing from these candidates that are now in the classrooms
Yes,
from the
that's right.
first Alpine grant, right?
Yeah, when they begin to have successes, that's when they say thank you. Yeah. So yeah.
That's great. And Kari Deswood, again, with your contacts with these students who are going through the program and finding themselves in the classroom and being helped along the way, I mean, it's got to be great to have the resources and the support from your office and others to help them succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. What I'm seeing, I'm relatively new in this position. The former ALP coordinator, Michael Thompson, definitely I have some large shoes to fill with that. But the candidates, I mean, by and large, as Patrick had said earlier, that they have the content knowledge. So maybe they had an engineering background or a background in law enforcement. And so we definitely want to tap into the knowledge that they have and that they bring to our program. But we also want to just nurture and help to develop and refine the teaching skills, like, for example, with classroom management and how do you engage students and such.
Sure. And I know I speak with many of the superintendents from the districts and the county every month on KSJE right here, and I'm always amazed at what they're bringing into the classroom and working with their teachers and the teachers, I think, and I think in education totally we're learning more about the different learning styles of students, and not every student maybe learns at the same pace and the same way, and to be a teacher to understand all those differences and intricacies in your classroom is something to really be interested in and taught and celebrated when it goes right. And we're seeing some of that in some test scores and things like that. And that's kind of what it's all about, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
These days. So that's wonderful. Now, with this grant, if folks want to apply and contact you, it's a rolling deadline, right? They can apply anytime.
That's right.
Is that how it works? And then when we talked about the school districts, is there certain grade levels that they can choose to teach in, or is it just aside from how they do in the classes, or how does that get determined?
It's all grade levels,
Uh-huh.
but it also can depend on what positions are available. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, and just to add on, for the alternative licensure program, we do have 3 tracks, and so we have an elementary track, a secondary track, and then a special education track. And so those are things that we would talk about with potential candidates to see which they prefer. And in some cases, we do have candidates who decide to pursue more than one track. So they want to have that flexibility of not only teaching in an elementary classroom, but also maybe one day teaching in a secondary classroom as well.
Sure.
Got you. And so again, if you know that or ask those questions, that can help fine-tune some of the classes that these people will be taking, these students will be taking.
Yes.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
finding out where they're going to be going. So
Right.
that's great. What else should we add before we run out of time together this morning
Well,
about
I'd like
this
to
program?
add that it's a kind of a misconception. People, when they started to apply, they didn't realize that you have to be in the alternative licensure program in order to receive the benefits of Project Alpine 2.
I see.
So
Okay, good point.
yeah, that's they would come in and think, hey, I want to be Project Alpine. Well, are you in alternative licensure? No. Then that was a little bit of a misconception. So I'd like to clear that up.
Sure.
Thank
You
you,
do need
Patrick.
to become a part of the program in order to receive the benefits of the grant. So
Good point. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
people
so-
need to come see you, Kari,
Yeah, that would be
first.
the first stop, is to come to our office and visit with me. And there is a process, an interview process to get into alternative licensure. And we'll start with that. And then from there, then we'll connect you with Abena or with Pat.
Very good. But that's a great thing to remind people about. Any other misconceptions when people do stop by, or that's the big one?
yeah, I'd just like to encourage people to really think about it, because if you'd ever thought about becoming a teacher, this is just a great pipeline. You could get right into it, and there are people here to help you with that. And so I'd just like to encourage people, if you've ever thought about becoming a teacher, this might be your ticket.
Well, very true. And again, the fact that you can get your tuition paid for and your books and fees paid for, and
Yep.
and really do this on and get out into the classroom in a pretty quick fashion. I mean, I think
It's a
that's
nice
great.
benefit. Absolutely.
That's
In a
wonderful.
high-quality program as well.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we've heard from the time here at San Juan College, that
Absolutely.
alternative licensure program really does a great job.
Yes, it does.
Getting folks out there. Let me show the contact information again for the folks that we've been talking about this morning. Kari Deswood is there at 566-3442 if folks want to give you a call. Again, the other folks are there as well, Abena McNeely and Jessica Finch. And again, Patrick, we can email you as well.
You bet, absolutely.
Okay, very good. Thank you both for coming in this morning
Thank
to talk
you,
with me about
Scott.
this great
This is
opportunity
great.
for folks.
Yeah, thank you, Scott.
you again. Yeah, this was great.
You're very welcome. It is the Alpine 2 grant here at San Juan College and the Alternative Licensure Program for future teachers in San Juan County and beyond. This is Scott Micklin, and this is KSJE.
If you could make trillions of dollars investing in more diverse founders, why